Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms, and we have our own apps for Apple and Android. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Red, your lunchtime catch-up on all things Liverpool FC on a Friday, before Liverpool's last game before the World Cup break. Liverpool play Southampton tomorrow at 3 p.m, and then there's lots and lots of lovely rest for the players until they return for a game that is going to be against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup fourth round. Now, I saw a lot of Liverpool fans annoyed at this development, at this draw, and I'm not really sure why. If there was a team you'd want to face in the fourth round coming off the World Cup, I think it is City, because unlike many of the others who are still remaining in the competition, City are going to be without most of their players. Assuming Pep doesn't pump them full of steroids and send them back out to play just after they get home from the World Cup, Kyle Walker is going to be at the World Cup. Ruben Diaz is there. Phillips, Stones, Aki, Kinseo, Gundogan, Grealish, Laporte, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Akanji, Ederson. They're all at the World Cup. So what they're left with is Haaland, Julian Alvarez, who I don't believe is in the Argentine squad, Riyad Mahrez, and a bunch of kids. Assuming Guardiola doesn't rush people back, he'll have Stefan Ortega in goal. He'll have Rico Lewis at right back, Sergio Gomez at left back, no senior centre backs, no senior midfielders. So you're likely looking at Cole Palmer playing in there with two players that have never played at senior level before. And then Haaland, Mahrez, and Alvarez. No, Alvarez is in the World Cup squad. My mistake. Alvarez is in the World Cup squad. So, what's there to fear? Liverpool will have Kelleher, who'd be playing anyway. They'll have Ramsey at right back. You'd imagine he'd have played anyway. They'll have Gomez and Matip at centre-back. They'll have both Andy Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas available at left-back. They'll have Naby Keita, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Curtis Jones, James Milner, Stefan Basic, and, because he hasn't been picked in the Spain squad today, Thiago Alcantara, available in midfield. They'll have Salah, they'll have Firmino, they'll have Diaz, Elliott, Carvalho. Liverpool don't have many players going to the World Cup. Couple in the England squad, couple in the Brazil squad, Virgil, Darwin. There's not many. There's not many going. So why would you be worried? Liverpool will have a much stronger team than Man City on the day. This is a good draw. There's a piece actually on This Is Anfield highlighting this as well. So give that a read. There's a piece about Thiago not being involved in the Spain squad, about Darwin and Virgil getting called up. There is a quiz there. The 18 Liverpool players in England World Cup or Euro squads since 2000. Give that a look. Nunes could cause serious issues as Southampton take big risk with new manager. 3 more Reds who could go to the World Cup. So let's see. We have... What is this nonsense? Henderson and Trent, Ali, Fabinho, Ibu, Virgil and Darwin. And that's it. We don't have many. City have twice as many going. So don't be worrying about that game. We'll be fine. Liverpool.com. Jurgen Klopp already knows perfect Liverpool midfielder amid dream transfer search. Gini Wijnaldum turns 32 today, and with Liverpool currently searching for new midfielders, they would benefit from a younger version of the Dutchman. If this is anybody other than Moises Caicedo, I'm going to be annoyed. It doesn't actually name anybody. It's just a love letter to Ginny, which is fine. I can absolutely get on board with love letters to Gini Wijnaldum, the most underrated player of the Klopp era, the second most important midfielder of the Klopp era after Fabinho, arguably the most consistent midfielder of the Klopp era. Gini Wijnaldum was absolutely everything you could have wanted for 5 years. He was vital to how we played defensively. He was the primary reason we never got counter-attacked. He popped up with some massive, massive goals at massive, massive moments. And regardless of people that get all excited about how many touches a player have because they don't understand the game, Gini Wijnaldum was absolutely outstanding for us. There's a myth that his last season was poor. It's not even slightly true. He had a really good first half of the season when Fabinho was stuck back playing centre-back because of the injuries to Virgil and Joe. Ginny held that midfield together by himself. He was peerless until the turn of the year. He was a big part of why we were top at Christmas. Then he had a really poor 3 months. There's no question, a really poor 3 months. He looked exhausted. He looked overplayed. Andy Robertson was exactly the same for the same period of time. And he looked a bit distracted, likely because he had been disrespected in contract negotiations. But for the last 10 games, when it was Thiago, Fabinho, and Ginny, they were brilliant together. Absolutely brilliant. The balance was perfect. It's the best the midfield has looked under Jurgen Klopp. And the disrespect that he gets is incredible. James Milner earned double what Gini Wijnaldum did while the two of them were at Liverpool. While James Milner was sitting his ass on the bench and getting praised for setting standards and all other meaningless nonsense, Gini Wijnaldum was on the pitch actually setting the standards. Gini Wijnaldum was actually bringing leadership to the team, not just sitting on the bench. So, you know, all he wanted was parity with a midfielder that he was A, better than, B, more important than, C, younger than, and D, more available than. But instead, he gets shipped off and somebody else gets 200 grand a week on a 4-year contract, who's not as good, not as versatile, not as consistent, not as available. Would you blame him for leaving? I certainly wouldn't. Liverpool conceal own Bernardo Silva transfer as for 35 million as ex-Man City man swaps wages. Is this Seiko Fofana? It looks like Seiko Fofana. It is Seiko Fofana. He's very, very good. Very, very good. But I don't think we will move for him. I do think he's a very good player. I just don't see him as somebody we would sign. I don't know why. Maybe it's his age. He's 27. He's very good, though, and he would improve us. Would he improve us enough? Remains to be seen, but he's can do a bit of everything in midfield, and he can score some goals. 4 possible buyers for FSG Liverpool sale as preferred outcome clear. Oh, I think I read this yesterday and it was nonsense. AnfieldIndex.com, always reliable. We have some new pieces. There's a post-mortem on Derby. Tony Evans has a new piece up, if you want to give that a read there. And there is a piece up about World Cup squads, so check that out as well. Podcast-wise, there is a new Molby on the Spot that's out, so give Trev and Jan a listen. There's a new Scouted, where myself and Carl took a look at the players injured ahead of the World Cup and who'll be missing out. We have hopefully, a Scouser Tommies and a Rival Recon to come. If there's no Rival Recon, what I would like you all to do is to go on your Twitter machines and go to the search part, put in Harry, Hari, underscore Sethi, Sethi. That's at Harry underscore Sethi. And I would like you to send him abuse for being lazy and not getting his podcast done in time, because he is turning his back on you, the listener, and it can't be stood for. So go and give Harry plenty of abuse on Twitter. Tell him to stop being pals with all these big time journalists and focus on what's important, and that is you, the listener. And there will be an old school tomorrow. Myself and Gags are recording an old school tomorrow live on Discord, I think at 11 a.m. So we're going to talk about FSG. We're going to talk about their legacy. We're going to talk about the possibility of owners and who might come in and where we would draw the line and things like that. So be sure if you're around to give that one a listen. If not, listen afterwards. And that is basically that. I don't think I've got anything else today. I'm running out of steam this week. There's been too much going on. And I'm going to say I'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.